have for the submission so far. We have created a sign out, sign in, and from there we have programmed over them to create the database using an ER diagram, and we have successfully connected the database, filled in data from our UI, and then we also added some features like remember me or forgot password that sends an email that needs a verification code. In the remember me, we also create our custom cookie, and finally we created an attractive home dashboard. And in the last video, we connected it to our database rather than and today we will look at the user profile. So let's get into it. So this is what it would look like. We'll go back home. We'll actually start from scratch. So we need to be signed in to actually use it. We cannot go to it directly. We can go to home.php. Go to PHP. Yeah, we can, but there is no user profile right here. We need to sign in, so we'll sign in. Remember me. We are signed in. So the user profile display, or the profile picture, or rather, display picture is a generic one that I put. So as a user, we would want something else. So yeah, this is what the UI looks like. We can actually choose a photo, use a screenshot from the game, and there we have it. We have our own details here. The email address we cannot change. You wouldn't change your email most of the time. We can add a bio. Test user. We can add our mobile number. We can select our gender. We can put where we live. And we can select the country. The city also changes. So Germany will have Berlin. Sri Lanka will have these cities. United States will have New York. We have similar. We have such options to select from. And finally, we can save our changes. Yeah. So let's get into the code. The code of the design for this video. We will go into the other components in the next video. This video we will be only looking at the Tailwind CSS, bootstrap processes in the code. And yeah, let's go into the code. So as it's just a design, we do not touch the ER diagram at all. So yeah, first how we move to that is user profile. We actually go from here where we have a drop down. We have a drop down menu right here, and we go to this PHP user profile and PHP. So let's move into that. Yeah. So it's not from the home; it's from the header. So from the header file. So as I told earlier, it has to be logged in. We should have to have a session running. We also require the header. Without the header is unique. Is common to all. Yeah. So right here we have some queries right here. So what happens with this actually gets us our avatar URL, bio, gender ID, mobile address ID. So this actually puts it onto the website, because the user sometimes would have created his account and would already have certain information. So that needs to be seen, and that comes from over here. Then we fetch the genders, fetch the countries that are needed. These are actually we will be talking about this in the next video, but because this is design, we will not look into it. So yeah, here we have the design. We have the page header. As you can see, which I will choose photo button. So, so we give a recommended file size because we do not want to have large files just stored in our database and just clutter it up. We use the basic usual paddings and all that we have in the home PH3 as well. As you can see, we use this focus string blue 500, which gives this attractive look when we select any field. Yeah, so that's that. And then we have so all these actually we had inputted manually using just an option with list like list modal. So here drop down menu we have these manually placed, but now we have connected it to a database so that we can instead of manually changing the code, we can just update the database the way we please. Maybe download some data of countries and cities and so this is for the gender, but for the country, so we have database entry for the country. So as you can see here, Sri Lanka, United States, Germany, city. So there's a big error right here that all countries should be either alphabetical or follow a certain order so that international customers can find it easy because they're used to seeing their country in a certain place. Be it with maybe we could add some emojis of some sort along with the name. So there are endless possibilities when we have the data, we have the database connected. Whereas when it's manual input, it's quite small and it makes this code it's actually repeated non-stop 3-4 times. So we only have one now, so the code is much smaller, which helps a lot. And yeah, that's it for most of the UI stuff. We just use the Tailwind that we have been using all along. Then we come into the JS. So this is to get the profile picture from our own desktop. So when you click choose photo, it just opens a window based on the code, and then this country change. So when we selected the countries, city would change. So like Germany, you can only select Berlin. Sri Lanka, you can't select Berlin. So it's like that. So that happens from these two together. And then we have submission of the form, or rather like sending the data from our UI to the database saying, hey, update these tables and so on. So all of that is handled over here. This is actually an error check for whether the changes have been changed. So here it says save changes, and then if not, it gives us an alert box. And yeah, that's it for the design part. I will see you in the programming part for our user profile. Thank you.